let's take a step back for a second. And it's the finale, maybe, presumably, whatever.
Oh, true. Right? I didn't think of that. Oh my gosh.
I've always kind of joked that the only time I would be willing to put myself through an outdoorsy type thing is, for Survivor.
I don't want to come across as a villain, but I don't want to be, oh, look at the nice old lady. It's the tribe mom. I just don't want to be that. I just want to be just like everyone else.
Bro, what if we're in a park somewhere, like playing a game, and I've seen people lose $500,000. I know I'm not feeling it, so I apply it on the people around you, and you can watch them crumble, baby.
Playing the entire field of this game. At this point in the game, every single person that I have either been on a tribe with or merged with, I have worked with them at least for one vote. My biggest strength in this game has been being more adaptable than I thought I could be. It's like picking up the pieces and being able to do that successfully and still be here and still have people who want to work with me and move forward with me.
I think I have made a lot of growth through the game. It was definitely a huge learning curve for me on how to talk to people and what not to say and what to say. So I feel like I definitely grew as a player as far as keeping my cards a little closer to my chest and trusting less.
My game has been about making logical and strategic decisions to planning for the future, and I think that is evident in the fact that I am the only person to make it to the final 5 without ever receiving a vote.
When it comes to my willpower and how I've been performing in competitions and just throughout this experience as a whole, I think a lot of it just comes down to my ability to perform under pressure and my ability to focus.
Come on in. Alright, welcome to your Final 5 Immunity Challenge. First things first, Emily, I need the immunity necklace back. Immunity, back up for grabs. Chaos Amulet isn't. No amulets are in play anymore, just plain immunity. Alright, for your immunity challenge, you're competing in a Survivor Pennsylvania Classic. You will keep a leg balancing a beam with a vase on the other end. Put too much weight or too little weight, your vase will drop and you'll be out. The last person standing wins immunity. A spot in the final 4 lives to see the final day of the game, and one of the others will become the 8th member of the jury. Alright, we'll draw for spots. We'll get started. Alright, this challenge is on. The person with their vase on the longest. And your bar drops after 5 seconds. Lydia with some movement.
Oh, I haven't stopped.
Lydia struggling. Lydia drops. Lydia is out. Lydia, come take a seat. We're down to 3. Emily, Liz, and Kira. Do you call them lightning bugs or fireflies?
Lightning bugs. Fireflies.
Wow. 3 different answers.
What about you?
Lightning bug. That's what I asked. Oh, and Liz is swaying. Liz drops. Liz is out. Kara drops. Emily wins immunity. Emily, immunity is yours.
Good job, Emily. You deserve that one.
Why you got so much hair, girl? Fair enough. All right, Emily, you are in the final 4. The rest of you, one of you will become the 8th member of our jury. Head back to camp. Use this time to strategize before tribal council because you got a big decision. All right? Good night.
Just it being an endurance challenge, I had to have the attitude that I had to win. It was do or die in that moment. Either I win immunity or I'm out. So that is how I got through, and I'm glad I persevered. No. Maybe we do beans in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Just the
Beans for
rice.
breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get what? Shit. We need more wood.
I really want to unarm people, kind of talk about personal life stories and things like that, hang out. I think I have a master plan to get myself to the final 3. For sure, I have Kira's support at final 4.
Okay, guys, I want to welcome you to the final 5 and congratulate you, Sunny D! Breakfast! Come over, enjoy.
I was not expecting this, actually.
The chaos twist at the last tribal council was like so surprising. I feel a little nervous, especially with my performance in the last immunity challenge, but I mean, I'm really happy to be here on the last day, of course. Yeah.
There literally were no idols in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, we just sucked at looking for them.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
no
or
way.
the people were really bad at like playing them, the ones who found them.
I don't know. But yeah, that kind of pretty much seals that.
I got something in my pocket or in my pants at the moment, and we'll see what happens with that at Tribal.
I don't think there were idols because even like in tribals, like he would always say like if you have an advantage to play, Jeff Probst always says like if you have an advantage. And I feel like in past seasons, like I can't remember. I thought that's what King said in past seasons, but I watched last season and like there was definitely idols and idol plays. Like there would be like a Be Rare advantage just sitting on their like picnic table when they came back and shit like that. I was like, They weren't like well hidden. It was like they were everywhere.
Yeah. Unless I'm getting like royally blindsided, God, I think that the vote is between Liz and Lydia. Me personally, I think I have all the ammunition that I need to get Lydia the heck out of here.
We're feeling things. Yeah, we're feeling. The vote is between Liz and Lydia right now. I'm keen to vote Liz this morning. Lydia's super drained. She's tired. And Liz is a strong competitive threat. So I would just feel safer getting Liz out.
Once I felt like decisions were being made that weren't in my best interest, I started to feel like, okay, well, I'm probably next. But then I stepped back and logically thought about, but wait, there are bigger threats ahead of me still. So I do think I have a path to the end.
All right, it is the final five. We need to decide who the 8th jury member will be. Emily, how is camp life going?
Camp life is, there's ups and downs. There's moments where it's really peaceful and everyone's just sitting, pretty much not thinking about the game for a little bit, relaxing, just getting to know each other better. But with emotions high, pressure high, mentally, physically drained, like uncomfortable, it's quick to turn.
Jabbar, this is the last tribal council to play an immunity idol, but there have been no immunity idols played this entire game.
I think a common trend was just thinking that either we were bad at finding them or there just aren't any, but like in the back of everyone's mind, like there is still the opportunity for us to see one or two, or I guess three someday.
Liz, if there are 3 idols at this tribal council and an immunity, somebody could just go home without even being voted.
3 would be bonkers. That would definitely be chaotic.
Lydia, what is the most important thing for this vote?
Making sure that if I do get to the end, I'm at least going to have a chance against the people that I'm sitting with. I don't think anyone's got it in the bag. I think there's a lot of information to come out. Everyone here and here doesn't know everything that's gone on or the intricacies of the alliances and things like that. So I think it's open. I would assume it is. But there's still time to make moves and make things happen that could help your chances.
All right, it is time to vote. You can't vote for Emily. Emily, you're up first.
Still love you, Bits. But this time, I'm gonna get you for real.
I think if you get 5th, I cement my spot in the final 3 without having to make fire at all.
Let's be real, I haven't practiced at all.
I love you so much. It's been so fun playing this game with you. I think I have to do this for my game.
Right, if anybody has an advantage, now is the final time you can play it. Alright, once the vote is read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Liz. Lydia. One vote Liz, one vote Lydia. Liz. That's 2 votes Liz, 1 vote Lydia. Lydia. We're tied again. 2 votes Liz, 2 votes Lydia, 1 vote left. 15th person voted out of Survivor Pennsylvania Mountain of the Gods, and the 8th member of our jury, Lydia. Okay. Lydia, try to spoken. Emily, Kara, Jabbar, Liz, you have outlasted 14 other people. The game's not over yet. I will see you for your next challenge. Head back to camp.
I was like ready to like tear up that challenge. I'm super proud of the game I played. I don't think I've ever imagined that I would play that well. I actually never thought this game would be as hard as it was. But I'm like super happy for the experience, and I hope like my kids watch this and like just think it's awesome.
Immunity is up for grabs for the last time. Whoever wins this necklace secures their spot in the final 3, gets to plead their case to the jury, a 1 in 3 shot at winning this game. One of you will become the final member of our jury. For your final challenge, you will race to build a bridge, piece by piece, with the blocks behind you. Once your bridge is finished, you'll run across it to your table, where you will work on building a 3-tiered puzzle. The first person to complete that puzzle wins immunity and that spot in the final 3. Alright, we'll draw for spots. We'll get started. Alright, for a spot in the final 3, survivors ready. Go! Liz is to her bridge first. Wrong, you gotta take it back. You're looking for your first piece. Jabbar somehow got his first piece. Liz and Jabbar have 1 piece. Kira with a piece. Emily with a piece. Liz with her second piece. Liz is in the lead with 2 pieces. Jabbar with a second piece. It's Liz and Jabbar with 2 pieces. Liz has her third. Emily with a second. Kira's wrong, has to go back. Jabbar with a third. Liz with a fourth piece, continuing that lead. Liz with a fifth piece, Emily with 4, Jabbar with 4, Kira with her third piece. Emily's back with piece number 5, is it right? Emily's wrong, has to go back. Liz has piece number 5. Emily wrong again, going back. When you go across that bridge, make sure you run over it. Liz has her 6th piece. Jabbar with piece number 5. Emily gets that 5th piece. Liz has piece number 7 and is over halfway done with the bridge. Emily with 6. Liz places her 8th piece. Emily with 7. Liz placing her 9th. Jabbar places his 6th. Kira places her 5th. Emily's catching up. Liz is now down to 2 pieces left on the bridge. Emily has 3. Liz gets that 11th piece. Liz going back for her final piece. Liz, run across the bridge. Liz, go back. Thank you. No, right here. Emily placing her final piece. Liz working on that first tier. Emily now can work on that first tier. Liz and Emily in the lead. Jabbar and Kira at the same spot on the bridge. Jabbar with his 8th. Kira with her 8th. Liz and Emily working on that 3-tiered puzzle. Kira has 3 pieces left. Jabbar has 2 pieces left. Jabbar going back for his final piece. Kira going back for her final piece. Jabbar places that final piece, go across that bridge, you get started on your puzzle.
How do I know if it has 1, 2, or 3? Okay.
Kira's good. Everybody now working on that puzzle. Liz and Emily have had some more time to get started. You're making 6 pillars of equal length.
Let's try it.
Jabbar gonna place those pillars. Might have something. If so, a huge comeback from being behind in the bridge. Jabbar has his first tier. Everyone now looking over at Jabbar.
If it falls, do I have to start over?
Yeah, don't.
Lord.
Be careful. Jabbar working on that second tier, getting it placed. Liz is now working on that second tier. Jabbar has all 6 pillars, is placing his ring. And Jabbar's good. Jabbar can work on his third section of pieces. Liz is starting to place her second tier. Emily has the first tier done. Emily is working on the second tier. Jabbar is working on the third. Liz can now start working on the third, and Kira is still working on the first. It's Jabbar and Liz working on that third section. Liz starting to place those pillars for the third tier. Jabbar placing pillars for his third tier. It may come down to seconds. Liz with 4 pillars placed. Jabbar has 3. Liz is correct. Liz wins final immunity. Jabbar just moments behind.
I don't know how you guys did that. I was trying to copy. Good job.
it was either going to be me or her in the final 3. So as soon as she won, I kind of was like feeling a little like, that's it. We don't even need to vote. Like, that immunity challenge is what mattered.
All right, Liz, you have a 1 in 3 shot. You are at the final tribal council. You get to plead your case to the jury on why you should be the sole survivor. Kira, Jabbar, Emily, you have made it to the final day. However, one of you will come up just short and become the final member of the jury. Go back to camp, strategize. I'll see you for tribal council.
Liz wants Emily out. Her game is too similar to hers. They're brand new. She said, I can't have another person at the end with me that's so similar, and having this be their very first experience and having 2 immunity wins. That was going to be my pitch to her. Didn't even need to pitch it because I had already relayed that to her before.
I'm excited. I'm nervous for final travel. I want to be shit in my pants.
Me too. Me too. I think like the positive for you is I don't think you burned green as bad as I did.
I don't know.
Maybe that's just my perception. I just feel like I did dirty too, especially in the very beginning.
I know, such a bummer. Such a bummer. She like crushed that.
Like unreal
Yeah.
crush.
Yeah.
Like fuck.
Yeah.
So like maybe it was her that should have gone. I don't know. I still like feel like
Could have been a toss-up.
it could have been toss-up.
The running aspect was like probably more her,
Yeah.
but I
Like,
bet Lydia would have
and-
crushed the tower.
Mm-hmm. She probably would have gotten that done so fast.
Yeah.
But like Jabbar, like finished like second last with me, and then almost got caught up. Like that was so fucking close.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I think I should go.
What do you mean? Like go?
Like, I think it should be you 3 in the final 3.
Why? I went to Emily to see what her thoughts were for this vote, and she was very straight up for me, and she said, I think you 3 should go to the final.
Like I was saying to you before, like I think it would make a lot of sense if it was me, you, and Jabbar, and that's just like a really well-rounded group. I just think Liz and I are like too similar.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
that's fine. Like it, I
Like
think
it's kind of
either
like
me or her.
the polar opposite of like, well, not the opposite, but like the same reason why like we wanted her to be out this round.
Yeah.
One of us had won.
Right. Yeah. So
You have a very graceful outlook.
I'm like, yeah, I honestly like don't want to, yeah, I don't know. It just like would make me feel better with you 3, truthfully.
Okay.
So I'm like, fine.
Well, other than that, yes, you played like such a phenomenal game. I know you're proud of your game. You
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
And like, I can't wait till you watch back. It's like it's one thing playing it and like seeing and hearing people's perceptions and like how the game progressed and things that you didn't know. Like you literally played it at such an amazing game.
Thank you so much.
And to be like so frank with you, like I'm really, really happy that we were able to actually like get a chance to play with each other. Like there was a moment there where I was like, I don't know if she likes me. I don't know if we're even gonna like talk.
I know, yeah.
Or-
It just did.
And it was just like we were like polar opposite max.
I'm really content with how well I've done. I think like the best final 3s would be either me, Kira, and Jabbar, or Liz, Kira, and Jabbar. I think those are like 2 very well-rounded groups, and I don't think it makes sense for me to push my way in there. I want those 3 to be the final 3.
Emily kind of told me that she wants it to be us 3. That's at the end.
Who?
Emily.
Who's us 3?
Us 3.
What?
She voiced that to me too, to be honest. She said it'll be interesting.
It would make it interesting.
Based off of what people are telling me, I think it should not matter. And hopefully I'm able to get to the end with like only 1 vote casted or even no votes casted against me this entire season.
All right, welcome to the Final Four Tribal Council. Liz, I have to know, immunity, how does it feel to be in the Final Three?
It feels freaking fantastic. I'm really proud of myself for, I feel like this is basically the only way for me to stay in the game at this point, and I'm just really proud of myself for doing it.
Jabbar, you were just seconds, literally seconds away from winning immunity. How badly did it hurt to lose that challenge?
When I heard what type of puzzle that second puzzle was, I was like, okay, shapes. I deal with math and like positioning different types of shapes like in my everyday life, so I think I'll be quick at this. But like, geez, that running killed me in the first portion. So like, I was very sad to lose by such a small margin, but I was also very relieved that it was over.
Emily, the four of you go back to camp. You have this vote to get to. What happens back at camp?
It was a pretty relaxed atmosphere, maybe more relaxed than you may think. From my perspective, I really felt like if Liz were to win immunity in this challenge, it would be me going. And although it might not make for the most exciting voting, I kind of told everyone I'm okay with being the person to go today and have them go to the final three.
Kara, when you hear someone say like, I'm okay with it if it's me when we're so close to the end, what do we do with that information?
Well, I definitely asked the question a second time to make sure that that's what they want, right? But no, yeah, that's what she wants, and you know, I think I even said to her, I think she has a very like graceful outlook on the game, and I think that, I mean, it's good for me, right, and for a selfish reason, but you know, we'll see what happens. It could just be a facade. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but just have to go with my gut on this one and hope that the conversations I've had from the start of the game to the middle to now makes sense.
Oh, it is time to vote. Emily, you're up first.
This is obviously not the number one way to go, but I'm really proud of how I've played the game so far, and I think this is my ideal ending to this whole saga.
Once the vote is read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Emily, Kira, Emily, and the ninth and final member of our jury is Emily. Emily, need you to bring me your torch. Emily, the tribe has spoken. You can't. Jabbar, Kara, Liz, you three have gone as far as you can in this game. The power now shifts from you to the jury. Those 9 jury members will have their say in who wins this game. They'll all vote for a winner. You need their votes. Go back to camp, figure out your speech, your spiel, how you're gonna win over the jury. I'll see you for your final tribal council.
Telling the other 3 to go on without me essentially really felt like the right move. In the end, I'm putting aside, you know, my desire to win the whole thing, and I'm just feeling like proud of what I've done, satisfied of how far I've come, and I see that journey continuing for one of those other 3.
Making it to Final Tribal right now is like a pinch me moment. I know I've done all the work and I know I deserve to be here. It's not because I don't, it's because it's happened. It's finally happened. This is what I've worked for, this is what I've wanted. This is why I've played the way that I've played, which is very different from how I've played before, and it's paid off.
Going in, I think Liz is probably going to win. I know that the jury probably won't like me. They left thinking that they were cool with me, especially from Final 10 on, that like we had some type of alliance or so on and so forth. So I think that they're kind of picking up that, oh, he had an alliance with everybody.
First time playing the game against a lot of people that are repeat players of all kinds of games, so I feel like hopefully I played a fine enough game to win, but I'm just even proud of myself for making it here against all these people that I've played before.
Jabbar had the roughest path to get to the end. He's been to every single tribal council except for one, and he's never had a vote cast for him, not once in this game.
Jabbar knew the deal. If Green gets there, he's losing, right? And I will make sure that he doesn't win.
I always viewed him a little bit like a background character. I didn't really view him as somebody who was leading things. I need him to show me that he wasn't a background character.
It's just really tricky when the consensus at one point was that she was out of the game. So it's hard to look at things now and say that she's earned the #1 spot.
She's played a very great game socially and strategically. So what I need from her is to prove that wasn't just like a fluke or something like that, or to maybe explain how luck was a part of everyone's game.
Liz's best chance to win is her likability and how new she seems to the game and how she had to overcome quite a lot of adversity.
She very clearly flipped on Green, took me out, and with that she did a very good job of inserting herself inside that majority. And I think whether it was from her scrappiness or a social play, she somehow was able to convince a lot of those pink people to take out the rest of the green and then turn on each other before they turned on her.
I think people definitely underestimated her because she's small and she did have a really hard time in the first challenge.
I would love to hear Kira give a strong argument as to how she was intentional in who she was voting with at which times.
All right, welcome to your final tribal council. Jabbar, Kira, Liz, one of you are about to win, but it won't be easy. You need to plead your case, you need to articulate your game, and you need to win over enough jurors to get the votes to win. Here's how it's gonna work. The finalists, you will each start with an opening statement, no longer than 90 seconds. Then, each of the jurors have prepared a question or a statement that they will present to you, and then you'll respond. Then we'll close out with a closing statement no longer than 90 seconds. Try to keep your answers to them concise and not too rambly. If it goes on for too long, I will ask you to wrap it up. All right. Jabbar, we're going to start with opening statements. You're first.
Okay, so with the exception of Emily, I know that each and every single one of you, I looked in the eye and I told you either I wanted you to stay in the game or you were safe. I am so sorry, I do apologize on a human level, but I've been a bridesmaid so many times in situations like this, and it was time for me to put on my big white gown and finally be the bride. I told myself that I was going to be as selfish as I possibly could. However, I had to make sure that I would be able to lie to you all properly. And when the opportunity arose at the very first tribal council, I casted my vote against somebody who I was close with, being Tyler. And the reason why I did that was because I wanted to make sure that I would be able to look at somebody in the eye, blatantly lie to them, and be able to get away with it. At the start of Merge, I felt like I was never going to be prioritized as like the high level threat of the pink tribe. So I made my own threat. I systematically switched, was willing to flip, was willing to give everybody the time of day to work with anybody. And when I needed to cut you out, unfortunately I did. But at least I was willing to give each and every single one of you, maybe with the exception of you two, because of how the rounds kind of worked out. But once we hit the final 10 and we made the move against Tyler, all the gloves were off.
Jabbar, thank you. Kira, you're up.
My goal was to create relationships through trust using my charisma, right? I'm a pretty outgoing person, but I needed to dial it in and dial it down when needed, depending on the personalities that I was around. I was able to do that and create relationships and prove those relationships through trust in the votes that I did. I would break those trusts and create chaos, but still be able to mend those relationships and work with those same people moving forward. And last but not least, I was the master of death. Let me get it out. The idol that you've all been looking for, that I got from going on the dual journey, sacrificing death. So I will let you look at this and decide who is the person that deserves the win of this season, because that challenge, I told my team that you needed to A, lose the challenge, I lose my vote. Win the challenge, we win immunity. It was lose the challenge, win the immunity, and win immunity, lose my vote.
Thank you, Kira. Liz, you're up last. Go ahead.
Well, shit. Hi, jury. I just wanted to say thank you for making my first experience in one of these things like absolutely amazing. I think my game was one of passion, growth, and a little bit of luck. I have always loved Survivor, and I've always watched it, and it's just been a dream of mine to play a game like this, and I think that really kept me mentally strong throughout this, because it's always been a dream of mine, and there's been many times where I was like really struggling, but just my passion for the game has kept me going. I've definitely grown throughout the game. I felt I had a big learning curve right in the beginning, especially right after the swap. I learned a lot from all of you on how to just like ask questions and strategically talk. I felt like I was kind of new to all of that, and I really truly learned from all of you. And I think I showed myself that I am a strategic player, and I did kind of learn to do it on my own. And lastly, I want to acknowledge that I am definitely here from a really lucky amulet play on my part. However, I think after that amulet play, I proved that I can still play the game even after I'm literally completely on the bottom. I climbed my way up. I made sure I got to the final 4, and I fucking crushed the last competition. So yeah, be nice to me.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you all. We are now gonna shift the power over to the jury. You each can ask a question. Who's up first?
Hi. I think just to start off, on behalf of all of us, for the sake of time so we don't all repeat it, we're all so proud of all 3 of you. Congratulations for making it this far. I think that all of you played incredible games that were very, very different. With that being said, I can honestly say that all of our votes are up for grabs. We've been talking about this as jury members have been added, and we're not locked in on one person. So if you feel like you don't have a case, you do. I promise you that. So fight hard. For my question, it's more of an activity. Perception is a huge part of this game, right? So we're gonna play a game, and I want all of you to close your eyes. Yeah, you can close your eyes now. I'm gonna say a jury member's name, and if you think you have their vote, I want you to raise your hand. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Barton. Ben. Tyler. Jordan. Emily. Ethan. Lydia.
Kayla, and me. Okay, so you can put your hands down. Thanks, y'all.
All right. Who's next?
Fun. Yeah, congrats on making the final 3. I'd love to watch you guys die on the inside a little bit, like I'm sure we all do. Before I ask my question, I'm just going to make a little quick statement. Jabbar, I think you have a really good chance to win, but you need to fight really hard because Kira just whipped out a massive idol. Kira, I think you have a really good chance to win. Keep doing what you're doing. Liz, I love you. I really think you need to fight as hard as you can, and again, use your strengths and copy these two and do what they do and try and get some votes. My question is, I want to know why you think I will vote for you in 30 seconds or less, and I'll start with Kira.
I think you're gonna vote for me because I just blew your mind.
Okay, Jabbar.
Ultimately, I think that I am the ultimate version of a survivor. I came out here, scraped knee, first challenge, almost got medically evacuated, but here I am, the last pink standing. I am the Denise of this season. I've been at every tribal council with the exception of one, and here I am, the only person in this game to never receive not one single vote casted against me. I did what I needed to do, and I did it really well.
I think you should vote for me because in my eyes it was between kind of me and you. For some reason you were a bigger threat than me for a while. I heard your name for a while, even though I feel like we performed the same in challenges. Maybe you just had a bigger personality than me, but I gotcha before you got me.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ethan.
My question is for Jabbar. I'm proud of you for getting there. Before I say what I'm about to say, I want to say that. One of the reasons I wanted to work with you is now one of the same reasons that I'm hesitant to vote for you. And that is that for the majority of the game, you came off to me as very much a background character. So what I would like from you right now is for you to explain to me how you intentionally guided the moves of this game to get you to where you are now.
In the starting portion of the game, the original tribe, I never really felt like I had that much power. And even when I swapped with you and J-Mac, I still felt like I was the third wheel. So I knew that the ladies that I swapped with could possibly be my out if given the opportunity to do so. And when we had the chance to target, realistically it came down to Sam or Kira. You all were kind of focused on Kira, but I made sure that I prioritized her. And I gave you that last piece of information that kind of made you want to switch back and vote for Sam. And because of that, I gained Kira's loyalty for the rest of the game. And we systematically exchanged information round after round. I knew that I was never on the chopping block because of her. So while, again, I provided this propaganda so many times in this game that, you know, merge round, we're going to knock off big threat after big threat after big threat after big threat. And why is that? Because of what you just said. I'm not one of those people. So if I'm not one of those people, I can take out whoever I want and still go undercover.
Thank you. Thank you, Jordan.
What's up, gangsters? Congratulations. I think you all did amazing. And my question is going to be a little bit different. I think you're all here to like champion your games, and that's awesome. But I want to hear about, you know, no game of Survivor goes perfect. I want to hear about either something socially or strategically you did wrong in this game, and then how you overcame that.
I can go first, because I think I made this pretty clear to people in the game. I think that Kayla leaving when she did was a big whiff on my part. I had got pulled away for about 2 or 3 minutes. I was under the impression that somebody else was going to go home. And when I came back, everybody unanimously decided that they wanted to vote Kayla. And I kind of felt like I had to do that because I had talked to Kayla a decent bit. If I voted with her, it may seem like I did. So I put another vote on her, but I really did not want Kayla to go. However, I decided that I'm going to work on myself instead of trying to flip necessarily to green. And I'm just going to pull the people who I think have similar agendas. Like I said, if I'm not the biggest threat, I'm not going home yet. And Ethan, J-Mac, Jordan went home because honestly, they were supposed to, and they were bigger threats than the rest of us. And once that happened, I had the numbers to do whatever I wanted.
Cool, thank you.
I think that my mistake in the game probably would have been the round where Jabbar had told me that we were going to be voting for J-Mac. There are several times that I wanted to use this idol throughout this game, and I thought of the allies that I was working with day in and day out and vote to vote to vote. And there were many times where I knew that I, myself, didn't need it, but I could give it to an ally and keep them longer. But because I also knew that I had created every single relationship, I've worked with every single one of you on a vote, okay? And I never needed this. I was able to bring it to you now and show you that I didn't need it. I could have given it to allies, but the best way that this was going to serve me is showing it to you now.
Cool, thank you.
Okay. My biggest strategic mistake was probably on the swap vote. Josh had been volunteering himself to go, but Sam had an idol that could have been used, and I was trying to convince her to use it on Josh the whole entire time, and just let him vote and someone from the other team go. We would have had the numbers, and I think my game would have been a lot more smooth sailing, but I wasn't able to convince Sam to use it.
Kira, my question is for you. So we've worked together over the past few rounds and gotten to know each other a bit then, but why should I vote for you based on how you played the earlier parts of the game?
I'm not exactly sure what your perception is on the earlier parts of the game, of the earlier parts of my game. I can explain them to you. In the very beginning, obviously, our team was winning a lot, so there wasn't as much strategizing going. So my job was to create relationships with people and gauge where I fit in everyone's agenda. My main goal in this entire season is how can I add value to you? And when we had that conversation on the hill, the first legit strat conversation that we had, I knew that I wasn't going to give you a name or you were going to give me a name or try to push you one way or the other. My goal was to help communicate with you what I think is important in games and viewing that end goal in mind. And I think that helped me sit in your laurels and, or maybe that's the wrong word, sit in your good side and helped propel us forward and why we were able to work together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Alright, my question is for you two. What made it so easy to get manipulated by the other team to vote me?
So I was not manipulated to vote you. My goal in voting you, even before Tyler said that he was going to vote you, is I was going to be proving my trust to the pink side and voting someone who was green, and so I voted you. And it was coincidental that Tyler had said your name, and that is how I proved trust with the rest of Pink, and they decided to work with me then forth.
This might be a little naive of me, but I think that was like a pretty emotional vote for me. Emily was like super upset, and I was gonna vote for her, and then all of a sudden everyone came to me with your name, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just switch to.
Thank you, Kayla. Right.
Hello there. First off, Kira, you're welcome for me essentially Charlie Browning my ass off a barrel to get you that idol. But with that being said, in a game that's been so focused on the gods of Survivor and the Survivor gods, I feel like it's only fitting, especially as the first juror, to ask you three, although I am being dead serious, it's not a joke, I feel like I owe it to the Survivor gods myself to ask you all the very first juror question that was asked in Borneo 24 years ago. So, Jabbar, Kira, Liz, pick a number between 1 and 10.
5.
2's my favorite number, so 2.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Barton.
I think it's awesome that you all made it here, and you know you're all giving your arguments for like how you got here and stuff like that, and it's like undeniable. But I think that you all got here because like you represent a certain value, and like I think Jabbar, I think strategically you did play the best game. I think socially you were quite well too. Kira, you persevered. You're right, you did work with all of us. I remember you begging me for a name over there in camp, and that was awesome. You never gave up. I remember the first challenge when you were literally puking running because you were giving it all. Your perseverance is awesome, and I think that's something that's really important and I value a lot too. Liz, you're a wonderful person. you're the person, even though you and I never worked together, you took the time to get to know me, and you took time to be my friend, and I think that's really cool too. And I don't know why I should value any one of these values over the other. I mean, you can't just say, well, because it's the most likely to get me the chance and get me the game. You're all sitting there anyways, and you all play differently. So my question is to you, why do you think your value is the one that should be awarded? And remember, don't beg the question and say, well, it will get me to the final 3. You're already there.
I felt like this game in particular was very emotional, and I really wanted to play to people's heartstrings. I truly valued everyone's friendships that I made out here. And I think that becoming friends with everybody and getting to know everybody might not make them want to vote for me. I mean, I got this getting to the end, but I think that truly becoming friends with someone kind of makes it hard to vote for them. So I think that, again, this game was emotional, I think, for everybody, definitely for myself, and I think I played up to that.
You should value perseverance, because I think that perseverance is what showed, especially in the beginning, like you said, me even getting sick, having an asthma attack during a challenge and still wanting to go, not wanting to stop and delay game. It proved to my tribe that I'm going to do anything and everything for them. I think that brought a lot of trust into them, reverting back to the gods and the theme of the season. I persevered every time I told myself that I'm playing this game in a way that is unnatural to who I am. I'm a loyal and honest person, and I tried to do that in moments when I could, but I also lied, cheated, and stole.
So how many times do we actually watch CBS Survivor and we think, oh, this person should have won because they ran the game or they were strategically dominant or things like that? This emasculated power in such a game like this, I think agency holds supreme and is a winning game.
Thank you so much, and I'll be happy for everyone. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tyler. Lydia, you're up.
I didn't have much time to come up with a question, so like every time I came up with one, you guys like answered it in the other questions. So Kira, I just want to ask you, did you like save that fresh fit because like you knew you were gonna be here? Pretty much. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Jury, final 3, Jabbar, Kara, Liz. I'm gonna give you 90 seconds for your closing statement. We start with Jabbar, so we'll start with Liz this time and work our way back.
I think in this game I have a lot of self-awareness. I understand that these guys might have played a more strategic game. I do think that I really did make connections with people, and I think that did help me go through the game pretty far. I think I did well in the challenges, and I really am proud of myself for being a first-time player and making it this far in general. And I just really hope I get to talk to you all after the game.
Thank you, Liz. Kira, you're up.
In games that I've played before, I've played very honestly, and I've gone with my ride or dies, and I stuck to the sides of the people that I told them I was going to ride with. I went to rocks for people, and I went out on that rock after I stood on a stump for 8.5 hours. So this time, I fought for me, and I did everything and anything it could take. I tore my heart open, voting out the people that I love, and I've created amazing bonds with, and I can't wait to continue those bonds. But this time, it was about me and getting to this seat so I could get your vote. So I hope that you've seen that you appreciate that, and any questions personally that you would like to ask me after this, any that you have, I would love to answer them. And I'm sorry for any hurt or distrust that I've given you to think in myself.
All right, Jabbar, finish us out.
Hi, I think that I'm a contender to win this season because I show adaptability, flexibility, I was transparent when I needed to be, I was lying when I needed to be, I showed strategic and social prowess throughout this game. How is it in a crazy, divided game like this that somebody is able to make it to Final Tribal Council with 0 votes casted against them? And I strategically planned this. This is not by luck. I am a thinker, I am a numbers runner, I did everything I needed to do all the way up until the final 5. I came up with the idea of voting Lydia out because I knew that Emily and Liz wanted each other out, and even though one of them may have been a bigger threat or whatever, both of them in the game, I'm in the final because whichever one don't win immunity, they're not voting me out. And I'm not new to this. I've gotten 5th and 6th place in my last 2 games because I was not selfish enough to get myself here. I brought all the stops here. I think I am the rightful winner, and I cannot wait to see what you all decide. Good luck with your decision.
Thank you, finalists. Thank you, jury. As a reminder, jury, you are voting for a winner. Whoever you write down is who you want to win the game. All right, we'll get the vote started. Barton, you're up first.
I knew from the moment in that first challenge, when your head looked like a big-ass tomato, that you would persevere at all costs to win this game. Well done.
Played a great game. I'm really proud of you. I think you should be really proud of yourself and feel more confident in your abilities.
Good luck, homie.
I think my vote came down to my question. One of the best games I've seen. I think you did fantastic, and good luck, and I hope you win.
All right, for the final time, I'll go get the votes. All right, I would like to thank all of you for coming out and playing this game and entertaining me in my little endeavors here. You all did amazing, and I am very proud of each and every one of you. I'd like to thank our amazing crew. Too many to name, and I'm afraid if I forget one, I will hear about it later.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Jabbar, Kira, Liz, you want to see your name in here? One of you will win this game. It's time to read the votes. First vote, Jabbar, Kira, Jabbar, that's 3 votes Jabbar, 1 vote Kira. Kira, that's 2 votes Kira. Kira, 3 votes Jabbar, 3 votes Kira. Kira, that's 4 votes Kira, 3 votes Jabbar. Jabbar. That's 4 votes Jabbar, 4 votes Kira, 1 vote left. I'll read the final vote. The winner of Survivor Pennsylvania Mountain of the Gods is Jabbar. Congratulations, Jabbar, jury, finalist. We're gonna grab some food, we'll move some stuff around, we'll do the after show. All right, go ahead.
Stay for one. I said, please, if you stay for one more vote, our tribe can keep this trajectory. If not, we're gonna all get sent. They're all gonna get sent to the jury.
Daniel, while I have you, it is technically an off-topic question, but it's right to the game. I think I'll speak on behalf of everyone sitting here. Where the hell were the idols?
Yeah! All right, let's just get into it. I see like you just devoured that food right off the bat while we were setting up, but that's all good. Jabbar, congratulations on winning. What's the feeling?
I don't think it's hit me quite yet, like in full effect. So like it feels well. I think like once I finally take my first shower and just like change out of these shoes, burn the socks, all of this, and like dress how I would dress in like everyday life, I think it'll hit me more as time progresses. But I'm very excited.
Kara, you were 1 vote away from winning, super close. You played a tremendous game. How are you doing right now?
I'm good. I think that I did everything that I set out to do, and I think Jabbar did a great job at explaining myself. Maybe my falter was how I explained myself, but I still believe in my game and that it is a potential winnable game. But with the jury that was there, he had the best game, so I respect it.
Was unfortunately you got 0 votes. That
Yep.
doesn't mean you played a bad game or not like a worthy game. So how are you doing? I just want to check in.
I'm really proud of myself. I think that these guys like played an awesome game and they really described their game really well at the end there. I think that's maybe where I was faltered, but I'm proud of myself. I think I did a great job as a first-time player for sure.
Sam, you were pretty vocal and like opinionated like merge. Yeah, you brought like the New Jersey like loudness.
Jersey shut up.
What are your thoughts on what transpired since you
Like on the rest of the game after I was
yeah.
out? I'm sick over it actually, because if I had just been bold and made that move and taken out J-Mac, like literally maybe I still would have gone, but my tribe could have lasted a little longer and like this would have been different. Like, and I'm really upset about that. But you know, I felt like I was gonna be standing between a father reuniting with his daughter, even though he was watching me get voted out the next round that I begged him to stay for. So yeah, that went crazy. That went crazy a little bit. Yeah, that was wild.
Josh, let's check in with you because you were also another player who seemed to just step back and say, okay, my time has come. I want to go. Do you regret that decision, or do you stand by that what you did?
Oh, absolutely. I'll pick her over anything a million times to 1.
You didn't leave. You stayed for the merch feast, bro. You ate the food. That's why you stayed. I get that. That's why I did that. But I explained to you. You stay for one more vote. You stay for one. I said, please. If you stay for one more vote, our tribe can keep this trajectory. If not, we're gonna all get sent. They're all gonna get sent to the jury. And like.
And now we have a pink that won.
You're assuming that I would have voted for J-Mac if I would have done that.
What do you mean? You did vote for J-Mac.
Yeah, because I was leaving.
Yes, but you didn't, like, if you weren't.
If I'm staying, though, that's vote for somebody else. I already had a different name in mind.
But I wouldn't have told you were staying. Here it is. It felt crazy, dude. I was like, yo, like. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy you got to come back and enjoy the time with your daughter. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, you could have waited 1 hour, bro, is all I'm saying. Like, that's all I'm saying. 1 hour, 60.
We appreciate how cute she is.
I think she's
Do
awesome.
the hair flip, do the hair
It's been
flip.
awesome
Stays queen.
seeing you with her every single day, and I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
made the right
you all
choice.
could have lasted a little longer. If we waited 1 hour.
If Josh wants her to come in, she can.
Hey! Look at her! Yeah!
So Josh, I think we can all see, like, yeah,
Next
I mean,
winner.
who wouldn't want to go home and...
But he didn't. He could have waited 1 hour. He still waited the 1 hour. Like, so it just would have been a little, like, it would have been the same. This would have been the same right now.
Yeah, you're saying Josh came back anyway to our
Yeah, but
location,
that's
so
not
it's
what's.
I hear what
We could have done a family
I think
visit.
everybody hears what I'm saying.
Well, all right, let's go to J-Mac. I wasn't much part of camp life, but it seemed like you and the other Jordan, like, you created like this Jordan duo. Like, what was that relationship like? And then you ended up voting each other out.
Immediately, like as soon as I got here, I noticed Jordan and saw that he was wearing pink and had like a Stonewall kickball shirt on, and I play kickball. I just immediately felt good vibes, and I knew that going into the game that we would most likely be working together.
Kayla, you were like a fish out of water when you came out here. You didn't know what you were getting yourself into, but you came out here. You physically dominated while you were here. You did really well at the camp life, and then when we merged, the strategy kicked in, and you seemed to take a step back. I want to know, would you ever do anything like this ever again, or has this been it?
I'd probably try like another game, like just for fun, do everything once. Maybe in a couple years and study the game. I would try. But
Kill
not
it.
now.
You would kill it.
Yeah.
Kayla, you came out here and you proved that you were a dominant force. Like, I was like, dang, you like didn't lose a challenge for like the longest time. So don't like trash yourself or anything. We needed you here.
Thank you.
Barton, your jury question was the 1 through 10, and I just want to know, Was that bullshit?
No. Okay, so for the record, gun to my head, you can ask anyone on this jury, going into tribal council, I was already swaying towards Kira, because obviously, she by far, I saw the most out of her game, I made it final 3. But with that being said, Survivor God smite me dead if I'm lying right now. My number was 10. And so I feel like...
Because I'm a 10.
So I feel like with the game being about gods and all that, I feel like there was no other way I could vote.
Also work.
Yeah.
Daniel, why have you?
It's an
It is technically an off-topic question, but it's related to the game. I think I'll speak on behalf of everyone sitting here. Where the hell were the idols?
Yeah, let's get into that because
Oh my god.
because like yeah, we hid idols. There was an idol at each camp to start with, and they were never found.
Oh,
Are
my
you
god.
sure?
That's crazy. I know it.
Can we
Can you explain
Field trip.
where they were?
Seriously.
Let's take a field trip.
I swear, if I walk past it 5 times, I'm gonna be
Probably
Sure, I did.
David, I'm curious because you're super young and you came into this and may have overplayed your hand a bit. What are you taking away from this experience?
Honestly, not to get so hard on myself. One thing I wanted to do was just enjoy it. And I came in here, and after getting my butt kicked over that run, I was like, oh no. And that paranoia just spiraled, and everyone's like, you're okay. And I'm like, no, I'm not. So I kept trying to do better. I tried making the fire, that wasn't working. So, and then there was more paranoia, and I said it again, and it just spiraled. But honestly, I feel like I had a fun time. I really was looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to play again.
All right. I want to thank you all for playing and making this an incredible season. And I wish you all very well. Keep in touch. Don't forget me on Facebook. You're allowed to talk to me too. So yeah, I wish you all well. And we'll see what happens next.